Have you ever thought about why? In spite of the chaos whirling around us, some people seem to find your way through life with an amazing sense of calm and purpose. It looks like they tapped into a hidden source of strength that most of us still looking for. What if I told you that the key to this strength wasn't something born out of the ordinary situations, but a belief that to all of us today? Indeed, I am referring to Stoicism, an old but very interesting, useful thought that has helped smart people all through history do well in times of trouble. Today, we go deep into how Stoicism can change things, not just the way you deal with problems, but how you see each minute of your life. I'm very happy to share these ideas because they have deeply changed how I saw things and how to deal with life's problems. I want you to keep an open mind and talk about this content review below, how honest you are to changing the way you think and the good sense you've gained from any past interactions based on Stoic ideas. If you find what we talk about today is interesting, or if it strikes a chord with you in any way, please think about getting the channel subscribed, to putting a like on this video, giving it away with family or friends who are going their own ways of growing as a person, and looking into philosophy for those of you who aren't sure about what being silent can do for you. What do you say to stay with us until the end? In this conversation, you might change your mind. That shows the depth and how Stoic knowledge can be used that you haven't thought of before. Let's start this trip of finding out together, looking into how ancient thought can deal with very modern issues, how to understand your control sphere. This changes everything, because it really does lay the building blocks for everything what Stoicism stands for. This idea is very easy to understand, still deeply affecting some things in life are under our control, and a lot of other people are not. Getting this can drastically change what we do when different things happen and cause a big drop stress that isn't necessary. Now, what can we really control? What we do and what we think our responses. These are ours. This means we can make a choice. How we make sense of things, how we treat other people, and how we deal with problems, that gives you a lot of power, right? On the other hand, the things we can't change. Describe what other people did, the past, the present, a lot of what goes on around us. Let me show you what I mean. Let us say you're stuck in traffic, and it's making you angry because you're going to be late. In this case, the traffic is out of your hands. No amount of anger or sadness or getting angry will get the jam cleared. But what you can handle, what you do when you're stuck, you can pick a podcast to listen to. Could be a tough one and now turn into a valuable experience, or at least one that he can handle. Now, why is recognizing how important is this power sphere? Due to focusing on things we can't change is a huge waste of power, time, and mental space. What Stoicism teaches us to change that energy into parts where we can make a change. It's about letting go the outside events as they happen, not with giving up, but with the truth that our real power lies in how we act. This knowledge leads to some freedom of thought. Think about not being constantly not happy with the weather, what other people think, sudden or unexpected events. Instead, think about having peacefulness inside to agree with these things while concentrating your power on what you did like, working on growing as a person, building ties, or getting ahead in your job. By doing this, it doesn't mean you'll never be mad or wish things were different. What it means is that you'll come across getting back up faster, or maybe not getting as upset. First of all, you start to become stronger. The tough kind that's all about moving forward, not just getting back up. How then do we start to do this? It starts with being aware. Paying attention to how we act in different situations as we ask ourselves, is this something I can change? If it's not, we work on letting go. Focused on instead thoughts on what we can do about it. It is an easy thing to do, but like any skill, it needs to be consistent, and time to get good at it. Building up emotional strength. In essence, this is about our power to get back on track after a setback and keeping our cool in times of worry or danger. Stoicism provides a strong foundation for making this resilience stronger by getting us to look at problems as something we do every day and a chance to grow as a person. Philosophers who were Stoic were not just talking about getting by. They talked about doing well, to honestly judge your skills, learn about new things to improve their careers, or even change your mind about your job path. Both points of view are all about the same event, but the mental results are very different. What Stoicism teaches us to wait before we move, to take our time to shape how we see things instead of negatively. This wait isn't for repression, but about giving ourselves a moment to decide what to say that fits with what we believe in and long-term plans, instead of acting out of pain, feeling angry or let down. It has to do with asking ourselves, how should I do it? How to deal with this instead? What's going on with me? Getting stronger emotionally also means accepting things we can't change, the renowned Stoic. He wrote, as Marcus Aurelius, that things that happen don't bother us but what we think about them, by recognizing the truth of how things stand at the moment. Not the way we want it to be. We can be at peace. Being accepted doesn't mean passive giving up. This is a live hug that's almost rebellious of how unpredictable life is. Another important thing to do here keeps the mind on the present, which is a strong, tough exercise to make people more emotionally strong. Some of our worries come from not to think about the past or worrying about the future. By putting our feet on the present, we take part in life the way it is now, where we really have the power to act. This being aware. Having this awareness, getting rid of pointless stress, and makes our lives better, naturally easier to handle, more fun and enjoyable. Besides building mental strength by being patient, means regularly reflecting on how our problems will pass away. Like the good times don't go on forever, neither do the bad. This point of view helps us get through hard times with more peace, knowing that things will is always the same. How do you begin? Building more. How strong are your emotions today? First, pay attention to how you respond. Because of small problems or disagreements, push yourself to pause and think about more thoughtful answers. Think about your day, moment, and think about, you could have done something different. It might seem easy to do these things, but they have deep affects. They build up a strong, having mental strength that could change not just how you deal with problems, but also everyday life, developing discipline. Every day. We talk about Stoic control when we talk about, it's not just talk, that have strict schedules or strict routines. Instead, it has to do with a type of discipline that is a lot more private and powerful, committing to making our daily actions fit together with our most important goals and long-term plans. Think about it. Every day is full with so many choices, right? When to work and what to eat, who to hang out with, what to read, and other things. Strict Stoicism means making choices knowingly, with an eye on what really counts. Long term, it's about picking what to do that make our bond stronger to living a good, purposeful life, instead of just going with the flow or acting on the spot. But here's the catch. Rules based on Stoicism isn't just about stopping yourself, it's also about being free. At first it might seem strange, but think about it. We are in control when we to only focus on about what we can handle. Let go of the rest. We're really letting go of a lot of emotional and room in your mind. This freedom lets us be here and now, more interested, and finally more happy with our daily lives. One of the most important things for building up this kind of focus is making clear, usable goals that are directly linked to what you believe in. If health is one of your ideals, as an example, one of your goals might be to work out every day for 30 minutes. If it's for learning, you could set aside an hour every night for reading. What's the point? To make these goals so important as part of your daily life that over time, they get less about getting people to behave and more about following your values. Naturally and without any trouble, another important thing of the Stoic way of life is being mindful, being aware of our thoughts and what you do right now. Being aware of this helps us see when we're going off track based on our morals and gives us the chance to change our course. It has to do with asking ourselves all through the day, what is this move adding to my health and growth, or is it just a bother? By keeping in mind we can keep what we did in line with our objectives. Stability is also very important. What Stoicism teaches us that it's not the big, exciting things that happen, but the little ones that stay the same that make our lives what they are, like a stream. The land slowly changes shape, because of steady flow. What we do and how we live every day shape our fate and character, whether it's showing thanks or learning philosophy or working out. Being consistent with these small habits makes us strong, the basis of order that can stand up to unexpected events in life. To help make this exercise stronger, Stoics often say to think about things every day at the end. Do this for a short time before bed. To think about what happened that day, ask yourself, did I live my life by my values? How could I have done better? These thoughts does not only strengthens your daily action plan, but also helps a clear thinking state that makes control easier in the future and works better. And now for a tough secret to really making that rule stick. Accept discomfort. Sometimes try something new. To get out of your comfort zone, whether it's by doing something different, beginning a tough talk, or even taking a cool shower, these problems make us think of that pain usually only lasts a short time. That getting through it can help you grow in good things in ways we might not expect. So if you want to become more disciplined, start small in your life. Pick one area that fits with what you believe in. Make your goal doable, and do it every day. And don't forget, discipline in the way that Stoics do it isn't about making yourself suffer or living a life without joy. It's about making a living that fits with what you believe in and being your best self. Being open to change. Things always change in life. But so often it's our main source of worry and fear. But what if we could change our minds? What if things could get better? Not as a threat, as a chance, though. Now is the time for Stoicism to shine, providing us with powerful ideas into accepting and even being open to change as a normal part of our lives. What Stoicism teaches us, change is the only thing that stays the same in life. Everything around us is going through changes, the changes of the seasons, are even the things we think and feel. By accepting this truth, we queue up with the way things should be in the world, getting rid of our resistance to what will happen. This lineup that doesn't just help us adapt, it makes us stronger. Since we're not burning power fighting against what would normally happen, one of the 4 main tasks for Stoics for being open to change involves showing lack of interest to things we can't change. This doesn't mean things don't matter to us. Instead, it means we stay stable on the inside, willing to stand by our values no matter what is going on outside. In the event that you're up to get a rise at work, it makes sense to hope you get it, but a calm attitude would try to do your best. In the process of applying while believing in that the final choice you can't change. In this way, whether you get the job or not, your inner peace isn't being upset. Another part of being open to change is changing how we see things of hardship. Stoics think about problems not like walls but as chances to test and make us stronger. Any failure can be turned into a chance to show good behavior, such as patience, willingness to keep going when we first see the problems we face in life. In this, it gets easier to deal with change. It turns into a road to growth as a person and building character. Besides, being open to change means being in the present moment. A lot of the time, we're afraid of change. Is connected to worries to do with the future or feeling bad about the past. Stoicism gives us strength to pay attention to the present, about what we can do now, and this focus reduces fears that aren't necessary and makes us more powerful. It's a question, how should it be used, exactly now? Instead of getting lost in what if or if only questions to really accept change, Stoicism also teaches us how to learn how to be detached from certain results. Having this distance is not about giving up on our plans, but about keeping up, no matter what, our equality of how things work out. It's a strong mental state that lets us go after our goals with all our might without turning into having mental problems on getting certain things done. This way, we enjoy the trip as much as or even more than the place. Let's do some practice now. Think about making a change you're facing right now or expect to face soon. It might mean moving to a different place, changes in the way you're dating, or a change in your job right now. Instead of focusing on the possible stresses or what could go wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this change? How will it help me grow? Getting ready for change when you ask these can drastically change the way you see things. Transforming fear into action, willing to accept and welcome change, does not mean passively accepting. It's a choice that gives you power. To keep being fluid, be open and flexible to all the possible outcomes in life. It's about getting along, inside permanence, and having fun and growth in the unknown. So let's carry this Stoic knowledge with us into our everyday lives, using it to change our worries about change, getting excited to get to the new roads that play out in front of us, following the rules of nature. At first, this may sound a little vague. Let's break it down together. Stoics talk about nature a lot. It's not just what they mean about the wild world, but also to the way people are and the very essence of space and time, the way it makes sense and in a neat way. Following the rules of nature means coordinating what we do with the way things should be based on morality and reason. It's about getting it, where we stand in the world and doing things in ways that go well together with the way we are as smart and social people. This line is very important because it shows us the way to a more satisfying life and purpose in life, one that fits in terms of the bigger picture. But how does this look? In real life, it starts with being aware of yourself. By having knowledge, our strengths and weaknesses, what we do well and not so well, we can start to live in that, are good for our health, and make a good contribution to the people around us. As an example, being aware that we are naturally social animals can give us hope in order to build ties in neighborhood, which are important for our growth and happiness. Following the rules of nature, it also means accepting our sense of reason. This means making sense to help us make choices instead of giving in short-lived feelings or pressures from outside. It has to do with making choices that are good for us and others, but also good and right when having to make a choice that a Stoic might ask, does this move make sense? As best I can explain, learn about the world, does it line up with the qualities of wisdom, bravery, fairness, and modesty? In addition to this concept shows us how to accept the flow of life itself, all of its ups and downs. The seasons change too. Our lives are marked by times of growth and decline, happiness and sadness. By letting these natural processes happen, we can keep up to our inner peace and strength. Instead of being against change or being sad about our fate, we can enjoy every part of life as an important part of the whole. This acceptance doesn't mean being held captive. Instead, it's being involved with life, based on a deep knowledge of the rhythms of nature. Another thing, the act of living in harmony with nature is taking care of the world. Stoics think that as a part of nature, we have a responsibility to keep it safe and sound. You have to make choices, those that can last, kind and thoughtful of the environment as a whole. This is about recognizing how we are all connected with all living things and doing things in ways that show respect for this link. In real life, this could mean picking to ride a bike or walk instead of going, cut down on waste, or supporting rules and actions that take care of the world. Every one of these options shows a commitment to living together peaceably in the world of nature, which is important to Stoic ideals. Following the rules of nature is also needs. We have to deal with problems in life with strength and grace. The outdoors itself is full of obstacles, storms and quakes, times of plenty and times of drought. The same with our lives can be rough and uncertain. By looking at nature, we can learn so we can face our own problems, being equal in every way that nature shows in the face of change, being more mindful and thankful. This set of habits really changes things, and even though they seem easy, they're very helpful when we weave them into the fabric parts of our daily lives. So let's get started and find out how these ideas work, can help us live in the present, a happy and full life. Being aware in a Stoic way is about being aware of each moment of how we think and feel, feelings in the body and the world around it. It's something that helps us to be fully there right now without any interruptions or criticism. It might sound like meditation in a way. Yes, you're right. It has some things in common with, but calm awareness is more about putting together being aware of into every part of daily life. It has to do with being aware, interested in what we're doing, If we're eating or walking, a friend and I are talking, or even getting a job done, practice being mindful allows us to enjoy each moment, to really take part in life, rather than going through it. Not paying attention. It helps us figure out how beautiful the present is. In our busy lives, we often forget about being aware of also makes us more aware, making us more aware to how we felt about it and what other people need. With this greater awareness, we can be smarter about it, making thoughtful choices and act better, take on the tasks and the chances that come our way. Let's talk about being thankful now, which is deeply linked to being mindful. Being thankful in Stoicism doesn't just mean thank you. It's about keeping up a state of being thankful for all parts of our lives, seeing how valuable everything is, from the little joys to the greatest good luck. It's about finding the good, always and everywhere, even in tough situations. Things that Stoicism teaches us. There may be chances for progress and growth. Adding joy to your daily life can begin with something easy, as writing in a gratitude book, where you write things down every day you're grateful for. The following could be a simple, like a sunny day, a tasty meal, or a useful meeting. The key is to be consistent, longer and more often. You agree with these things, the more deeply rooted the act of being thankful becomes in your mind. But why pair thanks being aware of? Because when we pay attention, being fully present in the moment, it's more possible that pay attention to the details and gifts that we wouldn't have otherwise not think about. This could be the heat of the sun on our skin, the ease of being at home that keeps us safe, or having a friend with you who cares about us and listens. Being mindful opens our eyes to the plenty in our lives, and being thankful lets us to love and celebrate it. In addition, training. Being aware and thankful has an effect on grounding. It holds us down. Right now, getting rid of fears about the past, worries or fears about the future. This base is very important, a world that often seems to be in a mess and out of control. With each present moment and every act of gratitude, we put down a base of inner peace and strength that can carry us through the good and bad times of life. As we develop these habits, in addition, we grow a greater happiness in living. This isn't the short-lived happiness that is caused by outside factors, but a strong sense of happiness and peace that comes from inside. This happiness lasts a long time. In case it matters not on what we go through, but on what we see and do something about it. That's why I urge you all to start putting together. Being aware and thankful as part of your daily life. Feel the effects right away, such as a drop less stress or more happiness, but also pay attention. The bigger changes that happen over time, the stronger resistance, the stronger bonds with other people, and the greater appreciation for life itself. Remember, the way that will make your life better lies not just in wanting to be happy, but in growing plants. A strong sense of being there with thanks in every second we have. This is the time that make the beautiful fabric of living a life with real meaning. If you want to learn more into the ideas behind Stoicism, how they can change things, what you do every day, look at the movie that was suggested, show up on the screen now. There will look around more Stoic habits that can help you lead a more focused one and peace of life. Thanks again, thanks for being here with me, for getting bigger together, and for being an important part of the Stoic Journal. Stay here until the next time. Stay thankful and keep going to become your best self.